So the aspect I wanted to take up right now is the aspect of active listening. We have 4 skills for creating a values-based environment that we tend to teach in this course. One of those skills is acknowledgement, positively building behaviors. Another one is active listening. Another one is conflict resolution. Another one is discipline without anger, without shame. And so what I want to take a look at right now is the active listening. And the reason is that active listening is looking at the person and seeing their emotion, understanding it, and being able to stay in peace and power and respect yourself. And allowing the student that is angry or resistant or that has feelings that are anti-values in a discussion go through a process where they can settle down and look at the beauty inside them. Okay? So this takes an understanding of anger and what anger is. Anger is always a secondary emotion or a tertiary emotion, a third level emotion. It's never primary. So what's under anger?
Fear.
Fear.
Embarrassment.
Fear, embarrassment, hurt, shame. Okay. So under anger, there's these main emotions: hurt, fear, shame, embarrassment, feeling unsafe. Okay? And the example I love, an example I believe that Thomas Gordon gives, is an example about the mother or the father, and their child is not there. And it's after school, and it's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. They've called all the neighbors, and they don't know where the child is, and you call the medical clinics. And then at 4 hours, you see your child. Hi, Mom. And what do you say to the kid? Do you say, I was so worried? Or do you say, where have you been? How could you do this to me? Okay. So same thing. Kid brings home an important a report card. You're angry at the child. You're afraid. Is this child going to be successful in their life? Will they be poor all their life? Will they drop out of school if they're doing this poorly in their grades? You're hurt. What kind of love is it that your child has for you if they don't even try hard enough to be successful? So all these feelings then, so these are primary. These are not, these are primary emotions, okay? And anger is always the secondary emotion or a tertiary emotion, but it's never first. So in this understanding, active listening is a powerful vehicle so that I can help students go from this level to this level. When we look at this model, what we don't want to do is continue to create these feelings, because these feelings move students towards being disempowered, towards dropping out, towards being marginalized, towards being not productive. So we can actually help children. What is our obligation? Can we help them move? And how can we deal with it in the classroom? For example, when I have a student he said, let's say you're doing a values lesson on peace, and he says, well, I don't believe in peace. What are you going to say? You're going to say, out? If I say, out, how does he feel? Then there's really no peace. Okay, so when I meet anger with anger, what happens?
It escalates.
It feeds it, it escalates. Okay, great. Okay, so in this, what if he says, I don't believe in peace? So you can say, so you really don't believe in peace? Thank you. Or you could even say, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that.
What do you believe in?
Okay. What do you believe in? What do you see? You can explore it. Okay? So what happens is that what you're doing at that moment is you're active listening in a way that's acknowledging. And what happens with that student? Do they feel valued? Do they feel respected? Okay, do they feel that there's some understanding going on? Now what happens is that when you do that, that anger starts to fade. Okay? So when they get to if you give them that respect, you know, this is we'll talk about this more in conflict resolution. Just by the thing of repeating, just by the communication of repeating how the student is feeling, when you give them that respect, the anger starts to go down. And then they're more open to resolving. They're getting that respect. That anger starts to go down. They get under here. And one of our assumptions in the Living Values program is that students do have positive values, they do have positive abilities, positive qualities, and that if we engage in this process, they can go down to here. In emotions, there is no right and wrong answer. In math, 2 + 4 always equals 6. If you're angry, you're angry. If you're hurt, you're hurt. If you're afraid, you're afraid. There is no right and wrong answer. But let's say I have a little boy. This happened in New York, in the very first lesson. One of the 7-year-olds that was in this little class doing Living Values, he had been abused. He had been abused so much that his mother was actually in jail. And there was a counselor doing this program with just 10 kids, and all of them had been abused. And so this one little 7-year-old, he did a picture, and his picture had a gun in his picture of a peaceful world. And he was asked, why did you put a picture of a gun in your picture of a peaceful world? Did he feel valued and respected? No. Okay. But what if I had said to him, what if I had looked at that face and I had said, boy, your world must be scary if you even put a gun in your picture of a peaceful world. How would that child have felt? Okay. Validated. Seen. Okay? You heard him. You understood him. So when I increase these types of things, then what's happening is that it frees them to go to a positive place, and it stops this disempowering cycle. Okay.